Okay, with the last part being done, now we will move on to the next part. As usual, we will go to the top plane this time. Go to sketch, and from here you will take a line and drop it down from here about this much. No need for specifics, just if you move your cursor to the next location, it starts to show another line that will be there if you click. But if you take your cursor back to the point where it's attaching to the first line that you draw, it will change it to a curve. See, it's now curving. I didn't select any arc. If you see on the top ribbon, line is still selected, but now it's drawing an arc. We will take this line up to here, in line with this, and then we'll connect this with this to make this kind of geometry. And then we'll take the dimension, smart dimension, make this 20 millimeters. After that, we will make this 42 millimeters, and this arc will be exactly 25 millimeters. Once you set these, obviously this one is going to take the right dimension itself. Would say, okay, this is what we need. Go to features, revolved boss base next to the extrude, revolved boss base. You select the axis around which you're going to revolve this. Select this axis. So now this shape is revolved around this axis. And say, okay, this is what we need. This is the type of shape you will be left with. From here, we will click on this surface and go to sketch here. On this surface, we will draw a circle and smart dimension the circle to 79 millimeters. Should be this big. Go to features and extrude this circle by 1 millimeter. So just type in 1, then go to OK. From this, go to top plane. Sketch on the top plane. On the top plane, select the line. Go to the center of this geometry. Click here, draw a horizontal line about this far away. It should be 40 millimeters. Take another line. Drop it down from this same point. Just a random amount. And take it to about the same height. Then pull back your cursor to the point where the supposed line, the next line, is coming out of, and it will start to draw an arc. So you connect that here. Use the smart dimension, click here, and tell it to 40 millimeters. Correct. And select this and give it a dimension of 20 millimeters. Should be this big. And select this. I think it won't let you dimension this because now these and this side is already dimensioned, so this part is locked. So go to trim entities and remove this. Just use a simple arc from here to here, 3-point arc, and just hold it this way. Go to smart dimension and dimension this 37 millimeters. Should be quite flat like this. And that's done. Go to features, go to extruded, revolved boss base, and select this center line. This is what you should have. Go to OK. This is what your surface should like with that slight extrude that we did before. And go to this surface and sketch. On this surface, draw a circle and use smart dimension as usual to give it a dimension of 82.5. 82.5. Press enter. Go to features, extrude this by 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter is already selected. Extrude it. There you go. It should look something like this. This sort of flat rim that we have created. Go to this surface again, sketch. Now draw another circle in this and dimension that 84 millimeters. Should be slightly bigger than the one we made previously. Extrude this as well and extrude this by 7 millimeters. Say, okay, this is what I want. This is what you should have. This little rim, and then this larger surface that we just extruded. Go to this surface, sketch. Now we will draw a circle again here, and from here we will dimension this to 70 millimeters. Then we will go to features and extrude this to 3 millimeters. Sure. And say, okay, this is what we need. This is what it should look like up to this point. Now move to here on this surface, this rim, this one, not this one, this one. Click here, sketch, and here we will first draw a line that is using this dotted reference line. Click here, and then the next one obviously on this side. Using this, we will, let me see if we can make this sort of white in color. No, not that white. Yeah, that's much better, much easier to see. Anyway, you can do this from this drop down menu. It's a plain white soft spotlight. It shows a preview of what it would look like, but courtyard, what? Anyway, plain white. This we sitting in Rome. What is this? GeoGuessr? Anyway, plain white. This from here we will draw a circle at the center of this. It needs to be. Let me just align myself with this plane. Just align myself back. Which was this plane? No, front plane. This is the one. And let me draw a circle at this center. From this circle, use smart dimension and give it a dimension of 4.5. Say, okay, this is what we need. And then draw another circle at the center. Again, smart dimension. And give it, we're basically creating the nuts that hold these things together. We're gonna pattern this later, but let me just select this line and delete it. This is what you should have. We'll go to features, extruded by 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter is plenty. We'll say enter. And this is how it should look like. Yep, this is how high it should be. Say, okay, this is what we need. Go to linear pattern drop down menu, circular pattern, and in here specify the amount to 16, and then the direction to pattern is, well, this is the direction. No, not the surface. I think usually you should delete this and select this edge. This usually edges give it the right direction, so this is what should appear. Say, okay, this is what we need. So the nuts are all, nuts and bolts are looking good on this side. Move to this side now. Click here and go to sketch on this side. From here we will, now that you're sketching on this surface, we will go to center rectangle and sketch out a rectangle from the center and dimension it accordingly, like this. This side should be 40 and this side should be 20. Enter. This is what we need. So go to features, extrude this by 42 millimeters. Press enter. So okay, this is what we need. This is what it should look like by now. Go to this face, sketch. From here we will on the surface draw a circle that will be at the center of this center, and then up to this corner. Yes. So it should be obviously as big as this, and we go to features and extrude this. Reverse the direction using this button, and from there select in this drop down menu, instead of blind it says up to surface. Select this surface, so the extrude is from this point to this surface, and say okay, this is what we need. Then on this face again, go to sketch, draw a circle, hover your mouse at the corner of this circular part so it shows the center. Go here, do this. In this circle should be smart dimension, this should be 20 millimeters, and then go to features, extrude this again to 30 millimeters. Enter. And instead of change this from up to surface to blind, extrude, so it should look something like this. Say okay. And the final finishing touches, I think we should edit this feature. Go right click this, the last extrude we did. Go to edit feature, the first option, and give it a height of 10 instead of 30. Go to OK. This is what we need, and go to this face and do the same. Sketch, circle at the center. Smart dimension should be 20 millimeters, and we will extrude it by 10. Extruded by 10, and just save this part. Now we will move on to the next part next part and the next part of the video as well. Save this part for final assembly at the end. Say okay. Okay, this is what it should look like by now.